Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. Today is February 1st, 2024, and today's day one of a self-love with Tweet. I'm gonna give y'all a little backstory, but not a backstory. So 2020, I tried to do the whole self-love with Tweet thing, and it was okay. It was decent. It was good. I wasn't consistent. I think I got to like day 6 or 7. It was supposed to be 20 days. I got to 6 or 7, and I don't know what to tell you. Your girl just like, I couldn't be consistent with it. So this time, I'm going to try to make it a little more authentic. Excuse my face, y'all. I just woke up, but this is a part of loving myself. Y'all going to get literally everything of me, okay? The good, the bad, the ugly, the that, you're going to get it. I'm standing on business. You standing on business. We standing on business. All right? So if you need help standing on business, let's do this together. All right? Let's do it. Actually, I need to be getting ready for work. If we're just going to be real right now. As I'm getting ready for work, I am going to go over some of this stuff with you that I have wrote down, because that's what we're here for. We're here to get information, and we're here to learn about me. Well, not learn about me, but, you know, I know some of y'all people that be watching me really just be wanting to be in my business. Like, and I'm cool with it. I ain't tripping. I mean, I'm putting it out there, so, hey. If you gonna watch and learn, Bookie. As we get started, today is about what is self-love and what self-love is not. Y'all gonna have to bear with me because I'm trying to get ready for work and I'm trying to talk at the same time. Self-love, what is self-love? Self-love is something that is deeper than surface level. Self-love is not just a simple, oh, I love myself.
I think I'm pretty, so I got self-love.
Self-love is deeper than that. Self-love is something that also stems from within. Self-love is prioritizing yourself. It's setting boundaries. It's forgiving yourself. It's being nice and kind, saying nice things to yourself, about yourself. Self-love is knowing your worth and that you deserve the desires of your heart and the promises of God, okay? Knowing that everything that God said that he had for you, you deserve that. You feel what I'm saying? If you want love, you can have love. I'm sorry if y'all hear that. I do have a cat. So, he be like, ooh, I don't know what to say. As y'all can see, I'm a little discombobulated because I'm trying to hurry up. Self-love is something that can look and feel different for everybody. So you have to take a moment and ask yourself, what does self-love look like and feel like to me? Because I could feel like self-love for me is prioritizing myself and forgiving myself and speaking kindly to myself. Somebody else might feel like, you know, they don't feel like that's self-love. They may take some stuff out of that, add some stuff in. So ask yourself, what is self-love to me? So now I'm going to tell you what self-love isn't. Self-love doesn't minimize. It is not perfection. Self-love doesn't shame. Self-love doesn't wait for validation from others. You have to have that within. You can't seek outside yourself for validation. Because when God gave you that calling on your life, when he gave you that assignment, when he gave you that passion, whatever it was, he didn't ask you to go ask Bob, Billy, and Sam, do they agree? Do they feel like that suits you? Do they feel like that look good on you? No. It comes from self. Other people have opinions. It's okay to have opinions. It's okay for that. You know, you might call a friend, hey, how you feel about this? Oh, okay. But you stand on business about what you feel, about what you believe is good for you, best for you, what looks good on you. You feel what I'm saying? Self-love isn't waiting to look like, be like, or have what somebody else has. Yeah, they got a nice car, but you can have that nice car too. Yeah, they got a good-looking man, but you can have you a good-looking man too. Yeah, they got a nice body, but you can have you a nice body too. Or you could just love the body that you already have. You can start working out and get your butt right how you want it, your arms right how you want it, whatever the case may be. Yeah, they hair look good. Go get your hair done. It's not waiting to look like or be like or have what somebody else have. That's not self-love. Self-love isn't always about admiring what you see in the mirror, admiring what you see on the camera. That's not what self-love is all about. And self-love is not selfish. Some people may feel like, oh, well, you know, I can't do this for me because, you know, they gonna feel like I'm being wrong, or I can't have boundaries. I can't say no, because that's a form of self-love. Knowing how to say no, that's a form of self-love. Because a lot of us be people pleasers. I'm a people pleaser. So it's hard for me to say no sometimes. And sometimes when I don't say no, I'm belittling myself. I'm degrading myself. I'm not valuing myself. You feel what I'm saying? So that's affecting my self-love. So self-love is not selfish. It's standing on business for what you want, what you believe. That's what that is, in my opinion. Self-love is appreciating and cherishing yourself, because nobody's going to appreciate you, cherish you, value you, love you how you can love you. And no amount of love is ever going to compare to the amount of love that God can give you. Let's just put that out there too. Just saying. It's not always, oh, I look beautiful, because not always are you going to look beautiful. I mean, right now I look okay, but I'm not the baddest right now. You feel what I'm saying? Yeah. So this up here, when surface level ain't looking good, that inside need to look good. Now I'm going to talk to you guys about why I struggle. I have self-love, but I tend to forget to continue to choose me and to continue to love me. I always, like forgive myself for things and, things like that. Like some of the things on my list that I said I feel like are self-love, I do those things, and then some of them I slack at. And it comes from like childhood wounds, like my childhood memories, and it comes from people pleasing. We live in a world where on the media, if you don't have clear skin, if you don't have fat butt, like things of that nature, if you don't have those things, then you're not considered to be bad. But something that I have learned is that sometimes you have to take a social media detox. That's starters. Sometimes you got to get up off that social media, baby. You got to get up off of it. Take you a little detox, because the social media will make you feel like you are not where you need to be in life. And sometimes we are exactly where we're supposed to be. And social media will make you feel like you are behind, you are lacking, because your classmates are doing things that you're not doing yet, or, they live in a whole nother life. And some people got it harder than others. Because I'm going to tell you something, baby. I grew up homeless. So what I got going on in my life right now is really a blessing. Because I could have been dead and gone. Do you hear me? I could have been dead and gone. I ain't have it easy like everybody else had it easy. You feel me? I had to work for mine. I'm still working for mine. A lot of people didn't have to work for they. They just had to, be a kid. You know what I'm saying? They just had to, have parents and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? Everybody don't have it easy, and some of that stuff is rooted from my childhood, because I did, like I said, I used to be homeless. I didn't feel, good about myself at those times, even though it wasn't like my fault I was homeless. I was still homeless. I was still, sleeping in the car, and things like that. They still affected me in some kind of way. I know that I am beautiful. I know that I'm worthy. I know that I am valued. I know that I am a child of God. I know that I deserve all the promises that He has for me and everything that I desire to have. But some days are harder than others, and that's okay. Every day is not, you're not going to wake up and be on 1,000 for yourself. Some days you're going to wake up and you only going to be showing up at 70%. Some days you're going to wake up and show up as 50%. You feel what I'm saying? I'm learning how to have strong boundaries with people. Boundaries are something that I won't say I lack boundaries, because I know how to have boundaries with certain people, places, and things. You feel what I'm saying? But as far as like knowing how to say no, like I said earlier, I am a full-blown people pleaser. I am a recovering people pleaser, okay? Because I am no longer going to continue to be a people pleaser. If it's something that I don't want to do, I don't agree with, I'm not doing it. I'm learning how to stand on business with people, places, and things, even if it's like my mama. Everybody know I love my mama. But some things I'm just not going to keep doing. You feel what I'm saying? Some things are just going to be a no for me. And sometimes it's hard to say no to people that you love. I always put myself in other people's shoes. Like, if it was me and I really wanted to do this, like, I really would want my friends to, like, come and hang out with me, or you know, whatever the case may be, like, I would really want that. So I try to be that friend, you know, but sometimes we have to learn how to just say no. Like, today is a me day, or say no. Like, today I just don't have the energy for it. And sometimes we don't be having the energy for certain things. Sometimes we don't be having the mental capacity to hold on to everybody else's problem. And I am that friend. I'm that friend that all my friends come to. When they having problems, when they need to talk, I'm that friend that they come to. You know what I'm saying? And some days that's very, very heavy. And I don't got that many friends, y'all. I only got about 5 friends for real. Maybe not even 5. But it still can be a lot sometimes. You know what I'm saying? Because not only do my friends have their own problems, I have my own problems. But I am someone who doesn't show it pretty good. I mean, I hide it pretty well. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes I feel that self-love didn't really have a chance to be rooted in me, because growing up as a child, I did have daddy issues. I won't say that I don't have daddy issues anymore, but they're not bad. I've forgiven my father for, you know, everything. But I know some days are still going to be hard. Some days I'm still going to get triggered. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's just life. You know, it didn't have a chance to be rooted in me. I mean, once I went through that stage in my life where I was homeless, you know, it was kind of hard for me to love myself. I thought about killing myself, suicide. I had suicidal thoughts. My mom was very sick. She was very sick at the time, which is why everything ended up happening how it happened. Because she got so sick to the point where she could not work a job, and they kept denying her disability. So, you know, you can't always depend on family for real. So that was our situation. We were homeless. And my mom loved me. My mom loved me to the best of her ability. But, you know, she wasn't able to just show me all the love. You feel what I'm saying? She wasn't able to, you know, really just love me for real, because we had things to worry about. She had things to stress about, you know what I'm saying? And I wasn't really mad about that, but I mean, I did need more as a child, you know what I'm saying? As a child, you know, you really, people feel like, oh, you know, you're supposed to not be worrying as a child. Like, you're a kid, you need to be, you know, worrying about kid things. But I couldn't worry about kid things. You know, I had to worry about my mom, and worry about if my mom was gonna die the next morning, or, you know, worried about if I'm gonna go to school and get bullied because my mama can't afford to buy me another pair of pants, so I gotta wear the same pants for like 3 days in a row. You know what I'm saying? Like, as a kid, I would worry about things like that. I didn't really get to have like a childhood. I never really been anywhere for real. I never been to Disneyland. I never been like, the childhood that I had, I never was able to really do a lot of things. So sometimes as an adult, you know, I do still see other people, that are my age, you know, 22, and they out here living their best life. And I'm not saying that I'm not living my best life, because I've been blessed enough to be able to move like 9 hours away from home. And I've been out here since November of 2022. And God has been blessing me on my journey out here. So I'm blessed. I'm very blessed. I have really nothing to complain about for real. It's just that some days I wake up and I be on social media and I feel like, dang, you know, that 22-year-old is out here doing this, that, and the third. But that 22-year-old might not have had it how I had it. And that's why I got to go harder. You feel what I'm saying? I've always believed that I was, you know, beautiful. I'm a beautiful young woman. I always hear people tell me that I'm so beautiful. That's nothing, you know what I'm saying? But anybody can tell you anything, but if you don't feel it within yourself, you're not gonna really believe it for real, you know what I'm saying? And some days I wake up and I feel like the most beautiful girl in the world. Can't nobody tell me Nathaniel. And then some days I wake up in the morning and my acne might be acne, and I might get a pimple and this, that, and the third, and I just might be like, oh my God, who is this in my mirror? You know what I'm saying? So, like I said, every day is not going to be a good day. But that's why you can't always depend on surface level things to make you feel beautiful. It's not always the outside things that are going to make you feel beautiful. It needs to be the inside. Your inside has to be beautiful as well. Your inside, you feeling beautiful on the inside is going to help you on the days where you don't feel beautiful on the outside. Okay? Y'all like this wig? Y'all, can you tell that it's a synthetic wig? And can't? And man came because I take care of mine. This is my first synthetic wig though, y'all, and it's really not that bad. Like, it's the little sensational wigs, y'all know, and I like it. You just gotta be gentle. I said before, when you look at it from a social media point of view, that make you feel like you gotta have this big old booty, you gotta have clear skin to be bad, you gotta have this, that, and the third, your life gotta be together, you gotta be taking trips, you gotta be doing this, that, and the third for you to be considered a baddie. You don't have to be doing none of that to be considered a baddie, okay? You don't have to have clear skin to be considered a baddie. For example, look at Keke Palmer. Keke Palmer does not have clear skin, but she is bad to the bone. Do you hear me? All right, everything ain't all about having clear skin and having the biggest booty. I mean, look at Zendaya. Zendaya is very, very beautiful. She's very, very bad, and she is skinnier than me. You feel what I'm saying? So sometimes that's why I say sometimes you have to take a social media detox, because social media detox will have you all up in here, making you feel like you're not good enough, you're not worthy, you need to be this and you need to be that. Whatever the case may be, you feel what I'm saying? Get off social media sometimes. So y'all, I was gonna get an Uber to work today. That junk said $17. Ain't having it. Ain't having it. I also struggle with self-love because I stayed in unhealthy relationships. Relationships that I should have been walked away from because I was trying to love somebody so much that I forgot to continue to love myself. I was trying to show them, you know, what love felt like. What it felt like to be loved by somebody deeply. You know what I'm saying? And they weren't trying to see all that, hear all that, you know what I'm saying? And well, I won't say they weren't trying to see all that or hear all that because they tried to be there, they tried to be that person, but they just had a lot going on, and I just couldn't keep fighting for a position that wasn't ready to be filled. You feel what I'm saying? I wanted to keep fighting for a spot. And it's not that I was fighting for a spot, but he struggled with self-love as well. And I was trying to help him love himself. And like I said, in the process, I forgot to continue to love myself. So I had to love myself in that situation instead of continuing to try to love him. I'm gonna tell y'all something, y'all. I just started wearing, I'm not even wearing makeup. I'm really doing the lightest thing you could ever do. This is not even makeup for real. It's literally just this foundation. It's literally just foundation. Because my face can get really red throughout the day. And I don't like that. But my sister put me on. Shout out to my sister because she put me on. Because I really don't need much for real. I'm not a makeup girly. I don't feel like I would ever, I'm not gonna say I feel like I would ever get to the point where I'm doing like a full face, because I might. But like right now, this is enough for me. I barely like doing this. I just really like it because like I said, my cheeks can get really, really red right here. And it's just like irritating. So this helps it not be as bad. This is what my sister put me on to fit me. All right, so I thought I was gonna have to walk to work, y'all, but the Uber is 20 minutes away and I literally stay like 2 minutes away from my job, so it really shouldn't be that bad. But it's cool though, because I'm gonna get to work when I get to work. Amen. Amen. I know my lighting sucks, y'all. I apologize. Like we were previously talking about, like staying in relationships and things like that longer than we are supposed to be. It's easier to stay than to just walk away from a situation, especially when you are desiring to be loved by someone. And sometimes our desire to be loved so badly as women, it can cloud our judgment. It can make us ignore red flags when we know we need to be running to the hills. You feel what I'm saying? And sometimes staying in situations longer than we are supposed to can make us miss a blessing. You feel what I'm saying? Because sometimes everyone that comes into our lives are not meant to stay. Sometimes people come into our lives and they're literally for character development. They're to build you up. They're to show you things, what you don't deserve, what you do deserve. Things of that nature. And they can begin to make you feel unworthy of the things that you know deep down inside that you are worth having and that are your heart's desires. Just because this one man right here is saying XYZ, ABCD does not mean that this next man is going to be on the same type of timing. You feel what I'm saying? He ain't ready to settle down. Cool. I'm not going to make you be ready to settle down. I'm not going to wait on you to be ready to settle down. You do you, and I'm going to do me, because I'm ready to settle down. So why should I have to put what I want on pause just because you don't want it? What you don't want, the next man do. What you won't do, the next man will. What she won't do, the next woman will. Okay? Because I know it be men watching too, so I'm not going to just do it all on the females or whatever. So yeah, you have to get that through your head sometimes. When you have self-love, you will never allow yourself to settle. Whether that's with a people, place, or thing. When you have self-love, you will never allow yourself to settle. For that man, for that job, for that house, for that career, whatever it is. When you have self-love, you will never allow yourself to settle for anything less than what you deserve. Period. Ask yourself, what would life look like if I truly love myself? If I truly love myself wholeheartedly, not just on the outside, but on the inside, I prioritized myself, I forgave myself, I was nice to myself, all of those things. If I just did all of those things and I truly, genuinely love myself, what would my life look like? And I'm going to tell you what I wrote down, because I'm not going to lie to you like I remember what I wrote down. If I truly love myself, my life will reflect a version of me that puts myself first, set boundaries with others, and knows how to say no. I will be able to look in the mirror and within and be proud of what I see, despite any bad decisions or paths that I've taken. I will be able to receive the love I deserve because I truly love myself enough to know when the love is real and not conditioned. That's what I feel like. It's hard to love someone and receive love the way that we want to if we don't love ourselves. If you don't love yourself, how are you going to be able to accept love from this person or that person or this person or that person? How are you going to love what you're doing if you don't love yourself? You know what I'm saying? You can't. Without self-love, we tend to look elsewhere and we tend to settle. You know what I'm saying? We looking elsewhere for the love that we looking for that we just need to give ourselves. The love that we need to give ourselves, we're looking for it in other things. People, places, or things. Well, like I said, people, places, or things. That could be a boyfriend. That could be a friendship. That could be drugs. That could be alcohol. That could be a job that you really don't like. That could be a career that you really don't want to go for. Whatever it is, okay? It's different for everybody. Everybody is going to be different. Some people are choosing a person. Some people are choosing a thing, okay? With self-love, we become our own source of happiness. Now, I'm going to say this here. With God, you got peace, love, and happiness, okay? With Christ, you have all those things. He will give you all those things. But one thing about it, God can love you unconditionally. He can love you, give you all the things that you want. But if you don't feel worthy enough or you don't feel love for yourself, it's going to be hard for you to accept what God is trying to give you. If you don't feel like you're worthy of it, it's going to be hard for you to try to accept what God is trying to give you, period. Or what anybody else is trying to give you. Remember that with God, all things are possible. With God, all things are possible. You may feel like it's impossible to forgive yourself. It's impossible to stop people pleasing. It's impossible to speak kindly to yourself. It's impossible to do this. With God, all things are possible. That with God, all things are possible. All things are possible. Don't minimize him, because he is an almighty God. Okay, he does the impossible. Okay, the impossible. Things that you be like, ain't no way. He does them. Okay, and pray. Pray, pray, pray. Prayer works, and prayer changes things. Ask yourself, what do you hope to get out of this journey? What do you hope to get out of this self-love journey? Is it more confidence within? Is it forgiving yourself? Is it learning how to say no? Is it learning how to set boundaries? What is it that you're looking for on your self-love journey? You have to ask yourself those things. What are the goals? Me personally, I'm going to tell y'all what I wrote down for myself. I want to grow more for myself. I want to stop people pleasing, set boundaries, and learn how to say no. I want to stop settling for the minimum just because I'm afraid of losing them. I want to be more afraid of losing myself. I want to heal old wounds that hold me back and find myself. I want to find my peace of mind. I want to find me. I want to figure out who I am. Who am I? Who am I outside of people pleasing? What do I really like? If I'm always saying yes to everything, what do I really like? You know what I'm saying? You have to be authentic. You have to be your true self. You have to be your true self all the time. If you don't want to do something, say that. If you don't agree with something, say that. You have to be your authentic self. You can't just go along with what everyone else is doing, what everybody else got going on. No. You have to stay true and authentic to yourself. Don't go against yourself, because when you go against yourself, no negative self-talk. No negative self-talk. Okay? And this is coming from somebody who is hard on themselves. I don't know why, but I've always been hard on myself. Always been hard on myself. And I'm trying to learn how to not be so hard on myself and give myself grace. Because I be telling myself, like, it's okay. That's why I said sometimes you have to take social media detoxes. Because social media will make you feel like you need to be somewhere where you okay with where you at. You're exactly where God needs you to be, right here, right now. And social media will make you feel like you are 50 steps back from where you need to be. No. Growth, real growth, takes time. If you are somebody that had to get it out the mud, you had to hustle for yours, you had to work hard for yours, it ain't gonna come easy to you like everybody else. But I'm gonna tell you something. The Bible say the first shall be last and the last shall be first. I'm just saying. So it's okay. It's okay to be in last place. It's okay to be at the back of the line. It's okay. It is okay. Because one day, in one moment, you're gonna be right there at the front. Right there at the front. The first shall be last and the last shall be first. Hey, I'm just saying. I'm just saying. Give yourself a break. Take a self-love day. Okay? Take a day just for yourself. Now, you can go back to my learning to love myself or learning to understand myself. I'm going to put the little thing right here. It'll show you where I created my self-love dates jar. It's a whole bunch of different activities in here. I got to get back consistent with it because I was doing my little self-love dates and I was recording them, but I kind of fell off when things got a little rocky in my life. But I'm going to start back doing these every 2 weeks, every week, however you want to do them. Come in here, pull one out, and plan that date out. And go do it, okay? Sometimes you just need to take a break for yourself. You need to acknowledge your insecurities. What are you insecure about? Acknowledge the things that trigger you or, that make you feel less of a person or whatever the case may be. Identify those insecurities. Identify those problems within yourself, okay? Acknowledge what's important to you and what's not. Well, this is important to them, but that's not important to me, so I'm not going to do it, period. That's just that on that. That's just that on that. You have to trust yourself, okay? Trust yourself. That's a hard one. Trusting yourself can be so hard, especially if you might be somebody like me. You're kind of indecisive. You don't want to make the wrong decision. You got to trust yourself, okay? And trust that whatever decision that you make, whatever path that you choose, hey, if it's not the right path, I promise you God gonna redirect you exactly where you're supposed to be. If you're worried about it, choosing the wrong path, pray about it. Pray about it. Ask God for help. Ask God for guidance. Seek God for guidance. Okay? Don't go to Bob and Billy and Sam unless Bob and Billy and Sam got a connection like this with God. Okay? But don't go to Bob, Billy, and Sam who you really don't need to be going with. Don't let the blind lead the blind. Okay? The blind shall not be leading the blind. Don't be going to nobody that's blind just like you for advice, for help, for guidance. None of that. Because they might lead you astray. And it might not even be intentional. It might not be intentional. So half of the time it's not intentional. But sometimes you just need to go to somebody that has a little more, you might be right here and they right here. It's okay. Because they're going to give you the guidance to where you need to be so you can get up there with them. You feel what I'm saying? I don't know where my Uber is, but they need to come on. Last but not least, I want you to answer these 5 questions, or not even answer these 5 questions. They're really just statements, and I want you to number them on a scale from 0 to 5, okay? 0 meaning not at all, and 5 meaning always. And I'm going to answer them. I'm going to be very open and honest with y'all about how I feel about these statements as well. Number 1, I believe I am worthy and deserving of love. I'm going to give this one a 3.5. I'm give it a 3.5 because some days I wake up and I know that I'm worthy and I know I deserve it, and then some ways I wake up and I don't feel worthy of it. And it's not so much of I don't feel worthy of love from other people. I'm gonna keep it a buck with you. Some days I wake up and I don't feel worthy of God's love because sometimes I fall so short. Sometimes I fail so much and I backslide and this, that, and the third, where I feel like that God's unconditional love and his grace and his mercy, sometimes I feel like I don't deserve it. That's where mine comes from. Now, do I deserve love from another human being? Yes, I know I do. That's a 4. I'ma always know that. You know what I'm saying? I'ma fight for that. But when it comes to like God, because everybody's journey is different, but when it comes to God, some days I'm a 3.5. Sometimes I know that I deserve, and then sometimes I don't. Because sometimes as humans, we don't deserve God's grace and God's mercy, but he loves us so much and he loves us so unconditional that he still gives it to us. You know what I'm saying? So some days I wake up and I just feel like I don't deserve that. Number 2, I accept and love my body how it is. I'm going to give this one a 4. I used to be very insecure about my breasts. I used to feel like my breasts needed to be bigger. I learned to love my breasts. I've learned to love my little old booty because my little old booty is really kind of fat. It looks like a little skinny girl BBL, but that's not the topic point of the day. I used to be insecure about my feet because I got some big old dogs. You feel what I'm saying? I got some big feet. I used to be very insecure about my feet. Not so much insecure about them anymore, but you probably will never really catch me wearing tennis shoes or anything that make my foot look long, okay? Just not gonna do it. Number 3, I don't need to be in a relationship to feel complete. I'm gonna give this one a 3. I'm gonna tell you why I'm gonna give it a 3. I'm gonna give it a 3 because I know that a calling that God has called me to be is a wife and a mother. And in this season, I'm preparing to become a wife and a mother. But really just a wife right now because maybe next year, 2025, I might get pregnant, or maybe like 2026. Anyways, but right now I'm definitely learning to become a Proverbs 31 woman. I'm learning how to become a wife, okay? Because I know that I'm somebody's missing reel. You feel what I'm saying? I'm complete. They're not complete, but I just feel like I'm not that woman that's gonna say, oh, I don't need a man. And I don't need a man. I want a man, but I want my person. I need my person. I need that male figure in my life that's gonna guide me, that's gonna be there for me. I want that. I desire that. I'm not gonna lie like I don't. I'm not gonna sit here and lie like I don't. Because I do. I'm a lover girl. I've always been a lover girl. Always have been. And that's just something that I desire. I desire my spouse. I desire my other half. You know what I'm saying? I'm desired to find my man so I can give him his rib. You feel me? Because he need his rib. But I know that I can live on my own. I know that I'm complete by myself. But I just can't wait to find my person. So yeah. Number 4, my feelings matter just as much as everyone else's. I'm going to give this one a 4. Because I know my feelings matter. My feelings are always valid. But I am a people pleaser. So I'm going to give it like a 3.5. Because sometimes I be putting other people's feelings before mine. And lastly, number 5, because my Uber is almost here, I am able to communicate my needs and my wants. I'm gonna give that one a 4 because I just started learning how to communicate my needs and my wants. If I don't like something, I'm gonna tell you. If I need something, I'm gonna tell you. If I want something, I'm gonna tell you. I'm learning how to open my mouth because as a little kid, as a little girl growing up, I never really spoke, what it was that I wanted or that I desired or anything like that. I always was just quiet to myself. I really didn't say much. I was always in my room. That's how I was growing up. So yeah, now the woman that I am today, I've gotten a lot better with that, a lot better. And I love that for me. So yeah. All right. Lastly, simply just acknowledge the fact that your self-love needs improvement. The first step on a journey is acknowledgement and acceptance. Acknowledge that you need more love in yourself. Acknowledge that you just need more self-love. Acknowledge it and accept it. It's not a bad thing. You just have to work on it. You know what I'm saying? And we're going to work on it together. I was finna say all February, but it's not going to be an everyday kind of thing. It's probably going to be like an every other day kind of thing. So yeah, today is day 1. It's day 1. My Uber is 2 minutes away. So let's see what this wig looking like right quick because, yeah. That'll do it. That'll do it, baby. I'm telling you right now because if you ain't getting nothing else, I'm going to work. Who I need to look good for at that job? Nobody. Nobody but me. Okay? And I look decent. I look good enough for my liking. How you doing?